Hey, hey, hey. What's up, everybody? My name is Sincere, and welcome back to the Standard 81 podcast. Sorry, you guys, I am tardy to the party. I was taking care of just a few things, but we are here. Today we're going to be talking about first dates, and as you know, this is a Wednesday rant, so uh, we're going to definitely, I'm definitely going to just state all opinions and try to use very little facts, but as you know, that may not be possible. Anyways, before we get started, let's take a 30-second break, get our minds right, and then I'll be right back with you here in 3, 2, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you're coming in, go ahead and hit that like button. Um, just give me that good old thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, please do hit that. That is greatly appreciated. It helps me out a ton. And if you know somebody that these particular things I do help, share it with those who you know, who you love, and who you think would care. Anyways, let's get into this. First dates. I want to talk about first dates. I need my phone. Okay, I got it. Because I did jot down some thoughts here about first dates that I want to talk about. I normally don't take notes, but I was just thinking about this yesterday, and man, I was just going in. I just kind of went in on it. Let me see if I can set my phone up on a stand here real quick so that I can. There we go. All right, perfect. This way I can look at it and use it as a reference. Anyway, first dates. What are first dates for? That's going to be my first topic. But before I jump into that, let me say this, man. This world of dating in 2024 is already confusing enough, man. Uh, we got a lot of people saying a lot of things about a lot of stuff, and they're intermingling psychology and um, intersectional dynamics and all these other things into something that should be quite simple. Do I like you? Do you like me? Check yes or no. Uh, Now, mind you, I do understand the intricacies within it because relationships do affect your lives. And if you do not pick somebody that is a, I'm looking for a word, a good asset to your life and what it is you are pursuing, it could be at your detriment. But it should be pretty easy. It should be pretty easy. It shouldn't be this difficult thing for us to figure out. And the more and more we start adding specifics and standards and parameters and all this stuff as a barrier of entry, the more complicated it's going to be. So one of the things I hope to do with this particular rant is just to help simplify the idea of the first date. So I jotted down some notes yesterday and I just want to kind of go through them. I think I got 3 points here that I want to kind of go through. What is a first date for? All right, so if you haven't heard uh, my talk on dating specifically, let me tell you what I think dates are all about. Right? Um, Dates are supposed to be for you getting to know each other. It's a set, as the Webster Dictionary defines it, it is a set place and time in which you are going to engage or meet with a person, right? Now, in this case, we're talking specifically male to female or female to male. Uh, but it's supposed to be the ideal of it's supposed to be the same thing. You're supposed to be getting to know one another. Now, if you have done this right, the first date should just to be to verify some stuff that you already know and to see if you have um, physical chemistry. But I'll go into that a little bit later. But the baseline of it is you're getting to know this person. This is your interview. Let's put this in job context. This is your first interview. This is the time you sit in front of each other and you kind of detail what your credentials and who makes you who you are. What makes you who you are, right? Yes, do you want to put your best foot forward? Absolutely. But your best foot forward shouldn't just be in your attire. It should also be in your demeanor and what it is um, that you want this person to know, right? Because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So while you want to be truthful and honest with a person and you want to show them who you really are, you want to also let them know that, hey, who you're seeing in front of you is who you're going to get 24/7. It's not just the best presentation of myself, it is who I am authentically am. Period. That's what I think the first date is for. Now, let's go into what can the first date tell you, right? And I'm gonna start with the men first because I'm a male and I've been out on plenty of first dates. Um, the first date can tell you two crucial things in my opinion. One, is she willing to cooperate with you? And two, is she really there for you? And I will expound on that. Let's expound on the first one first. Is she willing to cooperate with you? Now it used to be very easy. It used to be very easy first dates, right? The guy would pick a place, you know, depending on the time and depending on his financial status and what he wanted to do, and that's what. But now there's so many young ladies requiring certain things. They want $100, $500, $400. No, 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 no. If you as a man suggest, hey, let's just go out to a coffee shop, or hey, let's go to uh, the ale house, which is one of my personal favorites. I mean, if I'm out on a first date and I want to grab a dinner, um, I'm going to go to something fairly inexpensive. And it's not that I don't like finer dining, but I'm also budgeting and looking at the amount of finances that I have, uh, being to be disposable at that particular time, and the investment that I'm putting into this person, right? Because in my particular case, I would say, gentlemen, don't put yourself in a position you can't get out of quickly. Because if you do not like this young lady, or you wind up getting together and you find out there's not much physical appeal there as you thought it was going to be, you want to be able to move out of that particular situation fairly quickly without feeling like you're obligated to finish. This is why I love coffee dates in my particular, because coffee dates to me can play out in two ways dynamically. They if I meet the person and it's just not there. All right, we can move on. And I don't really need to see you. I don't really need to engage with you anymore because it's just not there. But if it's there and we're feeling each other, I can expand the date or immediately follow up and say, hey, I would like to do something that's a little more adventurous on the next time. Or let's do something a little more lavish the next time we meet up with each other. Right? Easy second date, easy way to progress from a level 1 to a level 3 date, however you want to look at it, right? Which goes in to my second point. What is she there for? Now, we've all heard of this. Booty dates, right? They'll call a dude up that they really don't like, and because yeah, the girl knows she's sweet on him, and he's sweet on her, and he really wants to be with her. She'll call him up, and he'll take her anywhere, and so on and so on. But she has really no desire to be with this man long term. But because he's willing to pay, or like I heard yesterday on a podcast, she wants to test your pockets. I have heard it said several times a woman is willing to go anywhere with somebody she likes or somebody she's attracted to, which I have now come to find out is 100% true. Not only have I experienced it with girls that I've interacted with, but I've seen it with dudes who had less than I did, and girls were out on dates in what I would think is a god awful place. And she just booed up with him, cuddled up, and it didn't matter because she was attracted to him or she liked who he was. So all this, what is she there for? Is she there because she likes you? Or is she there to see what she can get from you? That's what you can find out in the first date, gentlemen. Now, ladies, ladies, I'm gonna tread lightly here because I'm not a lady, but this is what I think you can look out for. Reasonably thinking, from a man's perspective, this is what I think you should be looking out for in a first date. What I think, you guys can let me know whether or not I'm right or wrong with this. Uh, Two things, once again. Is he trying to impress you with what he has? And what are his intentions? And you say, sincere, how can you say that? Well, depending on the type of man that he is and his economic and social status is really going to tell you a lot. Like, for instance, yesterday, a young lady said, I want Ruth Chris because I will always treat myself to Ruth Chris. But if you know this dude is not a dude that typically has Ruth Chris money, or he's not that type of guy that typically, he is trying to impress you with his wallet. He is trying to, or when you're in conversation, he keeps on detailing all the stuff that he does and all the things that he has and all his accomplishments. He is trying to impress you with his value, which could be a good or a bad thing depending on what you like. I don't know. Ladies, y'all are kind of odd, to tell you the truth, in this generation. Um, and then the second thing is, what is his intent? If he's trying to impress you with his money, it could just be he just wants to smash. All he really wants to do is have sex with you, and that's it. He's hoping that he takes you out on this lavish date, and that you will be so enamored and impressed with the things that he has and the monies that he's spending, that he gets what he wants from you and he never has to see you again. Or he's genuinely looking for something valuable. You can tell by his conversation and whether or not he's asking you any questions and he's trying to engage you and he's trying to figure out more about you, or is he continuing to talk about himself and 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 tell you all the stuff that he has, and each time you try to get a word in edgewise, he's always comparing himself to you and stuff like that. That's what I think you can tell on the first date. That's what I think you can tell. Those are the things you should be looking out for on a first date. Now, the third point, and then my last point, and I'm going to wrap it up. What should you be looking for on the first date? Now, I'm going to go back to the beginning. There should be three things you should be looking for on a first date. And if you have done your homework correctly, it should be pretty easy to find these three things, right? Because the initial attraction is already there, right? Now, if you've done things the smart way, the way I would like to do it, the way I like to do it in particular, is you've talked to this person on the phone, or you've communicated with them via email, Instagram, DMs, text messages, whatever the case may be. You've communicated with them. You found out a little bit about them. Then here's the three things you should be looking for in that first date. Number one, character. You should be able to tell, and I'm not saying completely, because a lot of this stuff you're going to find out over time, but what is this person's character like? See how they treat others, see how they treat you, see how they interact with people, see what it is that they are doing, what kind of character do they have, what's their personality, are they outgoing? You can how you say, how do you dictate personality from a first date? Well, where are they taking you? Are they taking you somewhere loud and very outgoing, or are they taking you somewhere chilled and simple? Usually, the places people like to go tells you a lot about the type of person that they are and the type of people that they tend to like to interact with. And then three, which is the most obvious, is there still that physical connection there? Do you look at each other and get this sense of, ooh, yeah, I like him, or ooh, I like her? Those are the three things I think you should be looking for in a first date. This is why I say get it. This is why taking you back to that first point is, I think a first date should be about getting to know you. It shouldn't be about the amount of money or or how lavish or how or the experience. None of that stuff. Because how are you getting to know about a person if you are not able to engage in conversation and see these different things about this person, if your mind is constantly overloaded with dopamine and 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 um and it's at the height of its experience? Because then you're not really concentrating on a person, you're concentrating on everything else around you. And I know, you people say, oh, you can do all that while you're sitting down for a dinner. But if it's a place you've never been before and it's an experience you've never experienced before, you get what I'm saying? If it's something that you always typically tend to do, then maybe, yeah, I got you. But the whole idea of a first date should be simply, do I still like this person after our initial greeting of each other? Am I still as enamored with this person as I was in the beginning? And after the date, do I want to continue down the road with this person? That should be the crutch of the whole experience, the whole idea of the experience of the first date. And then from there, things can develop. Then from there, things can grow. Then from there, you can kind of begin to filter things in more. And let me say this in closing, gentlemen. I'm gonna say this: how you start is going to be how you have to finish. How you start is going to have to be how you finish. So if you start way up here, just know this about women: they're not going to want to go down unless you have a special type of woman, or that woman is your wife. Then she may understand, because she, at that point, she's following your leadership. But especially in reference to first date. So let's just focus in on first date. I'm sorry, I bunny trailed there for a little bit. If you start up here with dates and experiences, you don't have to keep it up here and keep on rising up. You ain't gonna be able to go down. And I don't care what no girl says to you, because I've dated plenty of women that says, "Oh, I'll be all right with this and I'll be all right with that." They cool with that when you booed up and you snuggled in. But if they going out on a date, they have a certain expectation. Just know that. Ladies, correct me if I'm wrong. If if you okay, so let's say this. Let's say you started out at Ruth Chris, right? Boom, everything goes great. Y'all start dating, and he says, "Let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings." You're like, "Oh, we gonna be chilling at the house, just kind of a date night thing." Nah, he says that's where I want to go for date night this week. You gonna kind of be looking at him strange, like, I'm gonna go, but I don't really like this. And then the week after that, it's more uh, unlavish spots. Applebee's, Rudy Tuesdays, TGI Fridays, and there's nothing wrong with these spots. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong. I love these places. I think they're great, but it's casual. And you started out with doggone Ruth Chris. After a while, they're gonna ask you, "So what's up? How come we're not doing the stuff that we did in the beginning?" And what's your answer gonna be? "I can't afford it. I don't care what she says. You should take that first date to impress me." She should be impressed with you already. Because a lesser man who she's attracted to can take her to McDonald's or Wendy's, and she'll be perfectly fine with it. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate you so much. Go ahead and hit that like button. Give me that thumbs up if you appreciate this content. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Type second watch in the comments if you're watching this after the stream goes live. I'd greatly appreciate that too. Check out my TikTok over there at the Standard 81 Podcast. Also, check out the Instagram at Sincere the Artist. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.